Being here with me today. I want to quickly talk about some of the more intermediate to advanced features of Keynote that are still within this basic features conversation that we're having. So what I want to do is look at the table. I want to look at the chart, the text, shape, and media functions of Keynote. Let's jump right into it. Here, I already have a table populated for you. I have a chart populated. I have and two media objects populated. One's an image and one's a video or a movie, as Keynote would call it. I then put a text in. We're going to start with text and shape because they are exactly the same. So working with the text, let's actually go back to the first screen to talk about text and shape. So if I highlight my text here, I highlighted text, you can see my formatting options for text. I can format the style or the text, or I can arrange it. And arranging objects, this option is the same for all objects. This is just exactly where you want it on the screen and the size that you would like it or how you want it to be aligned to other objects on your screen. And so I want to focus our conversation, this brief conversation, more on the format and animation options for each object. So your style is how you want the box to be filled, which is the same as what you would see when working with a text. Or working with a shape. So let's insert a shape. And let's say I just wanted a box here at the bottom as a design element. You can see that I can change the color of it. The same I would do with this text box here. I can change the color of the box. And this will just fill it a specific color. So I'm going to undo that. The second option you have in your format is text. This is what you want the text to look like, the font, the character style, the alignment of the text, or the spacing of the text. You actually have those options on the shape as well because shapes are meant to be used for also putting text inside the shape. So if I wanted words in here, like today, I can type it inside the shape and I can decide, oh, that's not big enough. So I can change the font size. So I can highlight my text in here and I can change the font size, or I can change the font type, or I can change the color of the font if it's not the right color. And so once you have it highlighted, these two are pretty much the same. Let's jump into briefly looking at the options for a table. So I went here, I inserted a table. You highlight the table. You can tell it's highlighted because it has the marks on the outside around the table to indicate it's highlighted. I come up here to format. My box is already slid out. And as you can see, my options are different. I have the table, I have the cell. I also have a text option because you can change the text inside of a table. And again, you have the range, which is the same for all objects. Some of the key things that you'll see here, under table is where you can change the overall style of the table. You can come here to change how many columns each table has, what is colored. So if I change this to 2, you can see that the second row colors in as well, and that would also change if I use these as well. In the cell, you can change how you want the cell to be presented and where you want borders to be. The style of the border, the color, and the line thickness of the border is in here as well. And again, the same concept as we talked about with text would exist to where if I had text in the cell, so if this was Keynote and I had text in the cell, I can change the font. I can change the size of the font once it's highlighted. So if I have that highlighted, I can change the size of the font or the type. And so this is similar to operating normal text as well. Let's look at what the formatting options are of a chart. So I highlighted my chart here. I go to format, my box is out. I can see for this chart that I can format the chart itself. So this would be the colors. This would be some of my options. I can see that I can change the information on the X and Y axis. So that's, here's the X axis, here's the Y axis. And I could change the information of what the series values are. So for example, these numbers, this may be, you may want that to be currency. And so here's where you would change that information at as well. Just as a side note with a chart, You can also double click this edit chart data to change what these numbers represent also. Last but not least, I just want to quickly talk about media. So with the media of a Keynote, if you click on the media function, and this right here is an image, so I clicked on image, I go up here to format, and I see my options. I can change the style, which is similar to a shape, to where you can change the border and the frame, or the shadow, or even the reflection. Reflection is pretty cool, kind of does half of a reflection below. That doesn't look right in this situation, but you can also add that to an image. The unique part of an image is the ability to edit it here, and we'll talk about what these editing functions are in detail in another video, specifically for adding media. But you can mask a image, you can do this instant alpha technique, which is another masking technique, to really make your image have more of a customized feel. And the animation is similar to the table in the chart, to where you can put an animation on the entire object. And then last here, just a video or a movie is what Keynote calls it. You can format the style of it, which is the frame and the border, or you can format the movie itself, and that is editing maybe the trim of the video. So maybe you only want to show 1 minute of the video. You can trim it to that video. Poster frame, you can decide what a viewer sees when the video isn't playing. So maybe I want them to see this, this particular image before the video plays. And again, we're going to get in a little bit more detail of all these functions in separate videos, but I wanted you to have an overview as you continue to learn to use Keynote. Again, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video.